What is going on, you little oddballs? It's your boy Coreboy back at it again today with a new video, and honestly, doing a video that I've been meaning to make for a good little bit now. Setup's dark too. I'm recording this late at night. I don't feel like turning the fucking lights on, if I'm gonna be completely honest. But that does not matter today. Today, we are here to talk about Gears Reloaded, and I have gave this game, I think, a fair share of praise, mostly for a lot of the improvements it made upon Gears Reloaded, or not Gears Ultimate Edition, not fucking Reloaded. This is a port of a already existing remaster. It gets a little convoluted at times, but I do think there's a lot of good aspects of this game that have definitely improved upon the original Ultimate Edition quite a bit that I do think are really good. But today's video is not about that. Honestly, this video is a lot more of a critique video, as we have had the game now for around like 2-ish months or so now, and I have a lot that I want to talk about with it, because while I do love this game, I'll always love Gears 1. Like, that's just a given. This was a game that started a lot for me when it came to gaming, and I just love this game a lot. And the gameplay you see today is probably going to be quite terrible, because I've barely been playing, to be completely honest. I've been just kind of like a little bit rusty when it comes to hopping onto this game every once in a while, but this game had a lot that it could have done, and it could have delivered on, and it didn't. And I just got to be honest out the gate with that. Now, do I think for the story of Gears of War that this is a great introduction for PlayStation players? Yes, I 100% do. I think introducing them with the first game in the series, the game that really started everything and kind of gives an overview of what to expect from the rest of the series of Gears of War if we ever get PlayStation ports for it, or remakes, etc. I think this is a good stepping stone, and what they should have done from the get-go. I think, honestly, if Ultimate Edition didn't really exist prior to this, I think this honestly would have been much more well-received, possibly, but that's just kind of how things go, and why you can't really change that now. Now, talking about the game as a whole, outside of the campaign, which I do think is great, it's one of my favorite campaigns ever. It's a game that story changed the way that I looked at games a lot of ways whenever I first played it back in '06 with the original Gears of War. Like, this game set so many fundamental aspects of what I loved about video games back whenever I was a kid. And going back and playing it now, there's so many nuanced things that I noticed as I have got older that have just continued to stick with me into my adult life. And I love this game just for that. Of course, there's the nostalgia factor too. I just said it. I love Gears 1. But I also want to talk about the multiplayer, because I do feel like the multiplayer of Gears is like genuinely pretty damn special. It's unique. Nothing really plays like it. It's its own thing. It has its own flow, and it's unique. It's something that no other game has. But as a whole, I don't know if a lot of people are going to grip onto it the way that I did back in '06, and the way a lot of veteran players did. Like, I do notice more now than anything, since the game has been released, like I said, about 2 months ago it came out, that a lot of the player base isn't there now. It's a lot of just like hardcore veteran players that have been playing for, years upon years upon years upon years. You'll run into a lot of montage makers and stuff like that. People who were generally above the, below average and average skill level of the game. And I do feel like that kind of turns a lot of people away. Gears is a game that I think fundamentally is hard to attract new players because of the skill gap in it, and because people have had years, and I mean years, to get used to Gears of War compared to a lot of people who may be getting into it now. And I do think that will in turn turn away a lot of PlayStation players, for example, as they're like, yeah, I don't have the time or will to learn this. And I will say this, there is one thing with this game that I think could have actually really helped with that they didn't add in, which are things like bot lobbies for custom games. Adding bots to custom games, I think, is a great thing for any game to have that people are looking to learn. As a Halo player, for Infinite, for example, one thing that I really like is I can go, before I play a game, is I can go warm up with a bot lobby. And I can, get my mindset and everything that, oh yeah, I gotta play this game like Halo, and not Gears of War or COD, Battlefield, whatever the fuck else I'm playing at the time. And Gears doesn't really allow that necessarily, especially Gears 1. You don't really have that element to like be able to go like warm up, to kind of learn the mechanics and give you that practice that you need to actually get good at the game and to be able to be a successful player when it comes to playing this title. And to me, I think that's one thing that really dropped the ball, is it just doesn't give those players that ability to do that. And plus, day one, it was just everybody harping PlayStation kids like it was no fucking, it was a wasteland. It was a tirade on those kids for the first couple of days of the game, and I do feel like that kind of turned away a lot of people. And one thing I do hope we see, if Gears continues to have a multiplayer aspect with E-Day coming out next year, that we see a multiplayer that can actually be kind of picked up by everybody. It has its really competitive aspects, but it also has its casual aspects that people can go through and enjoy as a new player or just a general casual player that's not overbeared with the typical Gears of War gameplay that is a little bit harder to grasp. And I'm not afraid to say that. I think Gears of War has a very unique play style to it with the movement, the wall bouncing, how the Gnasher works, how you use all the other weapons that kind of counteract that whole play style. It makes it really, really interesting. And I do hope that we can see something that allows for a lot of new players to actually be able to like get in and pick up the game and enjoy it, compared to what we have seen in the past with Gears, where it is a little bit more difficult to pick up and play because it's not a easy game by any means. There's a lot of fundamental to Gears that is inherently difficult. As a whole, what I was getting back to is I feel like this game had a opportunity to attract PlayStation players, and there was an element where they failed. And it's unfortunate because I do think Gears multiplayer is such a unique and different experience. And I do know that there are PlayStation players that have stuck around and learned the game and have had fun with it. And that's awesome. I'm happy you all are loving this series as much as I do. As a 20-year-long player, I am happy that you all have enjoyed this game as much as I had. It's one of my favorite games ever, and I'm happy there are new people enjoying it. But also, there's some other things I want to talk about as well about player retention, which is a big thing that a lot of studios focus on now, is the retainability of keeping players involved in the multiplayer aspect of the game. We've seen this with Halo, Call of Duty, Battlefield, Fortnite, Overwatch, every single game ever. They do care about how many people are playing it and if people are actually interested in it. One thing, though, that does make this game really hard to continue playing amongst months and months and months of playing it, years of playing it, is there isn't really anything new to go for as a longtime player. Of course, they went the Gears Ultimate Edition route, where they give you all the weapon skins and everything out the gate, but you unlock characters every couple of levels, and it's just not really that engaging. You keep going with it, and you keep going along, and it's just kind of eh. Like, it's fun for a little bit, but after a while, you start to get a little bit deteriorated on it with nothing to really go for. There's no challenges, no medals, nothing like that. Nothing that keeps you around, like, for example, Gears 3 and Onward did, with having, like, Onyx medals and stuff to go to, with having the tour system of Gears 5, which I do think is a really, really good system, personally. I think it's actually really fun, personally. But that is one thing that I do wish this game had, and wish they would have actually evolved on, instead of just making this a port of an already existing remaster. Actually add things that people would want to keep them playing this game, to hold us over while we continue to wait for E-Day, because I'm excited for E-Day. Very, very excited for E-Day. I do worry to a degree, though, are we going to get the things that we want, or are we going to miss out on some aspects that I wish were there? And I get curious about that. Or is the game even going to have multiplayer? Are they kind of using Reloaded as a look of, do people actually care about Gears multiplayer, or do they not? Are they not interested in it? And I think this is a bad thing to go off of, is Gears Reloaded multiplayer, because it's just Gears 1 again, with some added bonuses from Ultimate Edition, but nothing really insane. It's just, there's nothing really there to continue to keep people playing after they get their fix after a couple of games or a couple of hours. And I have the same problem. I love this game and I love playing it, but anymore these days, I don't really have a reason to go back, consistently at least. I don't have a reason to hop on here for 8 hours a day and grind levels, grind re-ups, and everything like that, because there's just not a lot of content there. Sure, the gameplay is fun, it's really enjoyable, and I do think that is a fundamental aspect, but I'm playing maps and modes and everything that I've been playing for 20 years, and I hope you all understand why that gets kind of boring. Like, dude, it's just, it doesn't hit the same. I don't want to sweat like I was back in the day, because it's just the same experience again and again and again, and it's just not, it's not grasping me like I want this game to, because there are a lot of missed marks, and by God, Gears 1 has some god-awful maps in the fucking pool. They could have added some maps from Gears 2 or 3 to this, and I think that would have made it more fun and more enjoyable. But instead, I gotta continue playing rooftops when I don't want to fucking play rooftops. I would pay a lot of money to not play this map ever again. I fucking hate this map. I hate the design of it. I hate the flow of it. It's just not a good map. I'm gonna be honest. I just don't like it. Never have, never will. And the fact that I'm sitting here having to play it as much as I do in this game in the year 2025, it kind of hurts a little bit. I'm not going to lie. It's not a fun time. Not at all. I know there's probably somebody out here who really fucking loves this map. I'm not one of them. I think this map is dog shit. I think it's absolutely fucking atrocious. And yes, there is a map voting system to where you can choose to not play a map. People don't use that. Some of these motherfuckers don't even know what this map is. So they're like, ooh, this is a new experience. And then I gotta play it again. And it's still not fun. Also, team composition in this game is pretty damn bad. You know how annoying it is whenever I'm the only person who has played Gears of War as much as I have in my lifetime on a team of level 3s and 2s versus a 3 or 4 stack of re-up 2 players that clearly play a lot more than I do. It's not fun. It's just not enjoyable. And genuinely, due to team composition like that, it kills a lot of replayability too. Because I'm like, dude, I don't want to sweat 24/7. It's not what I enjoy. Especially in a game this old, I don't want to sit here and just keep spamming the same fucking maps and mode that I've been playing since I was a kid. That's it. And yeah, the gameplay in this video is absolutely horrific, and I don't really care because I haven't been playing. I have been playing a little bit more often after I've recorded this gameplay, just because it's fun to go back and play Gears, but I don't feel anything here that is that special to keep me over until E-Day that'll actually keep me fulfilled in Gears. And I've already talked about some of my issues with Gears 5 and its multiplayer that I don't like, and I was hoping that this game would kind of fill that void, but it hasn't really, because it's, well, as I said earlier in this video, it's just a port, and there's nothing unique or new about it. And I know this video is actually quite short compared to a lot of my other content, but it's just a small little list of things I wanted to talk about with Gears of War in the future of the series, because I care about it, and I want it to be better, and I want people who are new to it, especially PlayStation players who have never got to experience Gears, to love it like I did. Do I expect every single one of them to? God, no. I do not expect them all to. But I want them to at least give it a shot, and that's all I want. I want people to come into the series that I love and enjoy them as much as I have in my life. And that's all I could ever want. And to the people who are loving this game, I am happy that you were loving it. If this is your first experience, I hope you were enjoying it. I do just hope you all understand that I do have some complaints myself, because as a long-time player, there's just not a lot for me to do or to go for in this game that really makes me want to continue playing it super, super heavily. And other than that, though, I'm going to end the video here. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you all do want to see more Gears content, please let me know. I am working on some other big Gears videos that I do plan on getting out throughout the rest of the year. So please be on the lookout for that. I love you all, and I will catch you later.